I wanted to go with some lower lighting for this one. This isn't anything news related. This is just a really weird story about a guy that I met with a really strange thought process. And I wanted to talk about it because I thought his thought process was really, really bizarre. We'll call it the curious story of Beaver. It's a name and surname that he went by. I guess kind of an alias or nickname. So anyway, I was talking to this guy named Beaver. Now, he starts talking to me about overpopulation. This is, the world, the United States. It's overpopulated, and we should do something about it. So he says he thinks that there should be a real life purge. Now keep in mind, this guy doesn't necessarily, he's not like middle class or anything like that. He's lower class, like me. So kind of living in the cusp of poverty. Now, he tells me that the answer to overpopulation is a purge. If you've not seen the Purge movies, let me tell you what the purge is, the underlying kind of metaphor, what the purge really is about. The purge is a metaphor about classism and how the upper class undermines the lower class and basically kind of pushes them into a sort of sense of servitude. And actually that can be seen in our economics. Like our government itself is a democracy. However, the way our economic system works is not very democratized. It's really kind of more of a kind of a dictatorship as far as capitalism goes, like as far as companies go. They're like little factions with their own set of rules and laws and regulations. They're not democratized. You don't vote on that stuff. But anyway, the premise of the purge is not about killing people. It's really more about class warfare. That's what the purge is about. And it's really about how the upper class is dominating, just sheerly dominating the lower class. And it is. This is what I, as a liberal, one of the things I'm against is how much they over-dominate the lower class. Basically, the middle class is just shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Some of it gets, very, very small percentage gets divvied up into the upper class, but a large percentage of it gets divvied down into the lower class. So the lower class is increasing largely in the United States. And I think Crown T did a video, but I'm not going to talk about that. We're talking about Beaver. So that's the answer to overpopulation. Either that or war. He's kind of, a religious, very conservative guy. So war is okay. Apparently the purge is okay. I said, well, how do you feel about abortion? He goes, no, that's not okay. I'm like, oh, really? So abortion's not okay. He goes, no, it's wrong to take a life that hasn't started yet, or I forget the exact rationalization, but basically, that's like killing a child, that's wrong. Okay, I see where you stand on the pro or against choice matter. So, and then I say, what about homosexuality? And he says, and I think this is a really messed up ideology, but he says, no, I get why people choose to be homosexual. I get it. But at one point, you need to do your part and produce an offspring. Now think about this for a minute. Think about what that means. What he's inciting from that line is that he is inciting that homosexuality is more or less not necessarily a choice, but it is a choice in the same element. He's basically almost saying that he thinks it's just a male's nature to just fuck everything in sight. And that, that the concept of just unadulterated lust, just sheer lust, unrequited lust, just fucking pounding, no condoms, no birth, no pregnancy, nothing. And he's basically saying he can see how that's appealing. But you need to do your part and shed your genetics. Well, let's go back to his previous argument then. The world's overpopulated. So this is what I think is fucked up about this mentality is war is okay. And even though the purge is a metaphor, you want an actual purge. Which, if the actual purge and its actuality was enacted in real life, it wouldn't be in favor of you as a person of the lower class. It would be in favor of everybody that makes more money than you. So, here's the issue with it, though. I don't think he thought that deeply about the purge. It's okay to kill sentient living things, sentient living people. That's okay. Somebody who's aware of their cognizance, aware of their own existence, who's cognitively aware of their own cognizance, the ability to perceive that they are, in fact, alive. Somebody who's made an impact on the world around them because they have the cognizance to come up with new innovative ideas and emotionally reflect upon others around them and actually influence other people around them. Killing that person, well, that's okay. When we talk about abortion, I'm not one of those, I'm not a feminist, one of the neo-feminists that are like, I want to abort it before it's ready to pop out. No, that's crazy. Right now, where the limitation is on abortion, I'm okay with, because basically what you're talking about aborting is a clump of cells. It doesn't even look like a human being, and it doesn't even have brain activity. It doesn't. It's literally a clump of cells, and at that point in the woman's pregnancy, you don't even really know that she's pregnant yet. And that's where the current law stands on when you can get an abortion, and I'm okay with that. And I think that that's the way that it should be, because without that, women would perform abortions as they have in the past, illegally, so it'd be criminal, but also it puts them in danger of hemorrhaging, and women have died from this. But essentially you're talking about getting rid of something that has no cognizance of reality. It doesn't have a thought process. In fact, really, I would almost dare to say it's even a parasite just living off the mother. A parasitic, symbiotic relationship that happens naturally. This is how we reproduce. So that's not an answer to overpopulation, even though nobody that's cognitively aware of their own existence and has the cognizance to understand what life and death is, and has the conscious thought in their mind, they don't want to die. Killing that's okay, but killing something that has no idea even that it exists, that it's even a thing, killing that isn't okay. And then to the homosexuality bit. If we're truly overpopulated, I really think that homosexuality it shouldn't be stigmatized. I think it's great that Western civilization has really come to embrace homosexuality as a natural part of life. Because realistically, it's a great population control. And I think that's really where it comes down to in a biological kind of sense. But I think this guy's mentality where it's at is so messed up that we're at the point killing a sentient person is okay. Killing a non-sentient person is not okay. Reproducing is what you need to do. Sex without reproduction is what you shouldn't do. And this is the answer to overpopulation. Not contraceptives, not birth control, not condoms, not vasectomies, not homosexuality, not abortion, not really late abortion, abortion at an appropriate time. Like I said, where the law stands right now on when you can get an abortion, I'm okay with that. I think that's okay. None of that is considered. But killing people, I just thought that was kind of a fucked up view. I see a lot of view like these in people who are deeply religious. Not just Christians, not just Islams or Muslims, I've never seen an idea like that in Jewish people, but I've seen it even in like the darker kind of polytheistic type religions, where people do really crazy things like, we're going to murder somebody so we can see like the Dark Lord. These are really fucked up notions. Killing people is not the answer. I'm even against the death penalty, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't accomplish anything. If somebody goes on a murdering spree and kills a bunch of people, and you sentence them to death, you're not going to bring those people back. You're not going to undo what has been done. The only thing the death penalty offers is revenge. And honestly, there was a woman that studied criminal psychology that was a survivor of the Holocaust Germany. She was actually in a death camp. She committed her life to studying it after seeing such atrocities in her life. And I'm going to quote her. Capital punishment does not deter crime. That is coming from a woman that survived the Holocaust, a Jewish woman that survived a death camp. So when a woman like that says she doesn't believe in the death penalty, I agree. I absolutely agree. And I start thinking about what anger and violence really mean. And to me, violence, and I would dare to see somebody, I want to see an argument to the contrary of this. Find me an example of where this is not the case. Violence is merely the primitive reaction to that which you cannot control. In almost every every situation I can think of, even self-defense, basically it's somebody trying to establish control that they lack over you, and in self-defense you're establishing a primitive response to that which you cannot control of another human being. Give me an example of where violence is not a primitive reaction to that which you cannot control. And this is where I think our prison system does need to be reformed. I think our prison system should be for real dangers to society. People that do pose a threat to other people, by all means, lock them away in there forever. Keep them away from the rest of society that just wants to live their life as best they can. You're never going to escape heartache. You're not going to escape tragedy. It's a part of life. But one thing that can be done is you can take these people and you can put them aside in their own little bubble and let them do their crazy behind bars. If they kill each other behind the bars, who cares about that? That's their world. Pedophiles belong there too, by the way. But one of the reasons I feel we don't do that is because our prisons are overcrowded with really stupid shit. Like drug offenses. And if you've lost somebody because of drugs, that's a rough experience. It's a very rough experience. But that's a choice they make on their own. And wouldn't it be better to have it legalized where they had a place they could go to that had EMTs, sanitary equipment, and things like that, or maybe even counseling for people who want to stop, where the dosage is monitored and regulated, the quality is monitored and regulated, the purity of it is moderated and regulated. Wouldn't that be a better alternative than just sending them all to a place where we should keep people that are a real danger to society, but we go, no. We want to put them to death. We want to kill them. That doesn't solve the issue. It doesn't. You will never be able to bring the people back. And I think it's really fucked up, and I think it's really out of touch with reality, though, when someone says, just thin out the population. Take a machine gun and wipe them all out. Go to war, kill a bunch of people. Have a purge. Okay. Let me know what you think about the curious case of Mr. Beaver down below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell button. And with that, I'm out.